Tzu Chi volunteers in New York, New Jersey, and California come together to help Houston after Hurricane Harvey. Celebrating the auspicious 7th lunar month in a different way, a blessing ceremony was held in Kaohsiung. Welcome to DaAi Headlines. I'm Marilee Shoda. Thank you for joining us. We begin today's program in the United States as Houston, Texas suffered severe flooding due to Hurricane Harvey at the end of August. U.S. Tzu Chi volunteers used the last weekend prior to the new school year to canvass for donations for survivors. Volunteers from New York also did their part to help inspire people to contribute their share.
On the streets of New York, the American people are impressed by this scene.
We'll probably help because that's the best thing to do. We got to stick together and help each other.
We haven't seen such severe flooding over the past 100 years, so we are very moved by many people's help as they canvass for donations for Houston and the people of Texas.
A total of 182 volunteers participate in this event, including those who come from New York, Boston, Long Island, Manhattan, Brooklyn, and Connecticut.
Many people are devoted even though the money they donate is not much. I always ask them to lend their assistance to do some good deeds because the floods in Texas was very severe.
Not everyone wants to donate money. However, for those who are willing to do some good deeds, I think this is what we should be grateful for.
For the victims of Hurricane Harvey.
In New Jersey, this child with his pacifier in his mouth donates money to contribute his share.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you.
September 2nd and 3rd are the Labor Day holiday in the United States. On the first day, volunteers are scattered in 17 different locations in New Jersey and Philadelphia to invite local residents to carry out the acts of giving.
Can you donate something for the Texas people?
Can you put it on? Thank you so much.
Although it is a holiday, there are less people on the streets with only a few people going to the supermarkets. Regardless of different ethnicity and race, everybody is willing to do their parts to help. In Southern California, volunteers from Tzu Chi's El Monte Liaison office take the responsibility to pack medical kits.
Tzu Chi's medical team is going to deliver more than 2,000 medical kits to the front line.
On weekdays, as Tzu Chi has a good interaction with the community, some residents actively came to donate money or ask the volunteers to collect their donations.
As for my fellow countrymen in Texas, I want to tell them that they are not alone. Although we live in different areas, we can relate to their feelings.
Although it takes time to restore the disaster areas to its former look, please don't worry, we will always be by your side.
Everyone can practice good deeds at any time and anywhere in their daily life. As we can see on the supermarket's checkout counter, there is also the love from the residents.
Giving is never the privilege of the rich, but of the willing. Durban, South Africa is very far away from Port Elizabeth, but Tzu Chi volunteers in the area never stop their care for the underprivileged people. Let's take a look at their efforts.
When this granny sees Tzu Chi volunteers giving her rice and a comforter, she became touched and weeps. Tzu Chi volunteers in Durban, South Africa travel a long distance to Port Elizabeth to lead local volunteers in caring for poor families.
Whatever pain you felt, whatever pain you even feel now, we are still with you. Don't cry, my baby.
One volunteer's home was torched by fire last year, and everyone came to help her.
I just want to say thank you to Tzu Chi, because now I've got food, and my volunteers, they make me brave. I want to, and I'm comfortable now.
As they sing along, volunteers prop up the grandmother and help her do therapy, and also give red envelopes to sick people.
This message is a message of health. Yokuba, ukuti when I get well soon.
These volunteers go into communities to give rice respectfully. And they also return home happily.
The Myanmar Climate Change Alliance conducted an investigation which stretches back 60 years, producing two startling conclusions. The first of which is Myanmar's annual average temperature is rising by 0.08 degrees Celsius every decade, and the second is that rainfall every decade has increased from 29 to 215 millimeters. The impact of climate change on Myanmar is reflected in the fact that drought periods have lengthened and weather has become more intense.
Agriculture is an economic lifeline for Myanmar, as farmers are able to undertake 2 rice plantings a year, one in the dry seasons and one in the rainy season. The dry season begins in March, with climate change affecting both the quality and crop output. For this farmer, he needs to take out a loan to be able to make it through.
I borrowed money this year to plant the fields. If the harvest isn't good, then the loan will continue to next year.
U Din Dun has 4 acres of land. In the past, he not only had to borrow money from the government, but also high interest loans of up to 15% interest, with some poor harvest years leaving him with $90 worth of debt. Myanmar government's loans to farmers extend for 6 months with an interest rate of 0.7%, and with one field qualifying for a loan of $7.4 and requiring repayment of $7.7. The government of Myanmar has since pushed for a new agricultural loan policy from 2015 onwards. The amount of borrowing has increased from $7.4 to $74, and in 2016 it was further lifted to $88.6, with the interest rate falling from 0.7 to 0.055, which has significantly reduced the burden on farmers. However, climate change is now posing yet another challenge.
It is harder to cultivate crops because we used to have 3 seasons in 12 months, but this has been reduced to just a rainy season and a dry season, as we have lost the winter's harvest.
Seasonal changes are the biggest indicator of climate change. In the past, there are 3 distinct seasons in central and southern Myanmar, while the north has 4 seasons. Now the south has 1 less season, leaving it with just 2 seasons. U Din Dun said that would never rain after October, but now this is possible, which can lead rice to sprout. In 2015, the rainy season in Myanmar forced as many as 1.6 million people to resettle. Over the past 6 decades, the annual average temperature in Myanmar has risen by 0.08 degrees Celsius every decade, and the average rainfall has increased from 29 to 215 millimeters. In addition to drought, there are tropical cyclones which are more intense, with rainfall increasing and floods also increasing. Higher temperatures have also been felt with sea levels rising. These 6 major phenomena have had a direct impact on the agricultural income, solving drought and submerged rice fields along with soil salinization becoming a top priority.
It's very important for climate change. If we use misunderstanding for application on the soil, it's very dangerous.
These transparent bottles are filled with many different soils. This training center is part of Myanmar's Ministry of Agriculture, where farmers receive the latest agricultural knowledge and technology.
Department of Agriculture Research (DAI) is under the Ministry of Agriculture, Livestock and Irrigation. This department is especially in research for every sector in agriculture.
U Din Dun's life has gotten better through actions such as the government's agricultural loans. He has enjoyed other advantages. For example, Tzu Chi from the beginning of 2008 has been distributing rice seed, which has been specially developed by Myanmar's Ministry of Agriculture.
Myanmar was once the world's top rice producer, but production has steadily been declining. The Myanmar government in the past 35 years has continually been committed to the improvement of rice crop. This piece of farmland that we're visiting is actually an experimental field operated by Myanmar's Ministry of Agriculture in conjunction with local farmers.
This year in Yangon, we organized a special research association with rice farmers to plant these 400 acres of farmland. This is an experimental rice paddy to learn more about rice planting.
Here we see green stalks of rice, though the naked eye may not be able to detect good rice from bad rice. The Myanmar government's rice research program is using a very traditional means to determine this. Top quality rice produced by the Ministry of Agriculture, which is given to farmers for experiments. Typically, 1 acre can produce 40 to 50 baskets of rice. But if you can produce 80 to 90 baskets, it means this is very good rice, with farmers being able to reserve 40% of the rice to stay as rice seed. Unfortunately, after a new government in Myanmar has come to power, no new agricultural policies have been enacted. While Myanmar seeks to develop its overall environment, it is also battling climate change and seeking ways to stabilize agriculture, which is the foundation of the country. This is one of the major issues facing the leadership of Aung San Tzu Chi.
When Cyclone Nargis left its devastation in parts of Myanmar in 2008, Tzu Chi came in with seeds of love, both figuratively and literally. The Tzu Chi Foundation gave farmers rice seeds to help them rebuild their harvest, planting good thoughts in their hearts. When flooding occurred once again in 2015, the same farmers who received Tzu Chi's assistance in the past repaid their love to others by donating a handful of rice a day, much like the spirit of Tzu Chi's bamboo coin bank. In the aftermath of the disaster, many international organizations indicated they were willing to help. However, the Burmese government has strict policies against foreign aid. After multiple communications between the government and Tzu Chi Foundation, in mid-June of that year, authorities allowed Tzu Chi to conduct large-scale humanitarian aid.
The master said if the farmers are willing to go back to farming, then for every acre, we should give them a bag of fertilizer. The first distribution of 5,595 metric tons of aid was of salt-tolerant rice seeds, which helped restore 46,797 hectares of land.
With plenty of fertilizer, when we harvest in autumn, we will have seeds. It's growing very well now. Take a look yourself.
2 years after Nargis in 2010, Tzu Chi began a 3-year plan to help 29 farming villages in Yangon's Danyin Township.
In the past, the rice I planted would only yield 40 baskets an acre, but Tzu Chi's rice yields give me 30 more than my original. My family's living condition has improved greatly. Since we have received Tzu Chi's help, my family's life has improved. Every time I see the rice, I think of Tzu Chi and hold within my heart much gratitude. Tzu Chi volunteers treat each of us like family.
By Tzu Chi providing quality-grade rice seeds, local farmers' livelihood has also improved. And with their extra harvests, these farmers learn how to give back.
Think how many people Tzu Chi Foundation help. I don't have that much strength, but I can give a handful of rice a day.
In summer of 2015, parts of Myanmar once again experienced flooding, with hundreds dying from flood-related causes and many more impacted. Tzu Chi once again began their rice seed distribution to help farmers rebuild. The first segment of immediate relief Tzu Chi helped 5,000 some farming families with 642 tons of seeds, while the second phase of aid spanned 8 months and helped over 20,000 families in Taiki and Hwambi. After the successful harvest, farmers not only donated rice back to the volunteers, but also joined in the volunteer service to actualize charity within.
Sharing is a type of love. We received Tzu Chi's love in the past, and we have never forgotten it. So now it's our turn to pass it forward.
DaAi is a single mother raising 3 children in Tacloban of the Philippines. In 2014, she discovered her youngest son, John, suffered from a heart problem. Learning of the situation, Tzu Chi stepped in and helped with her son's medical expenses. Now, thanks to Tzu Chi, John has regained his health.
When a child is healthy, the mother will feel comforted. John is now 4 years old, but he was diagnosed of having a heart problem in 2014.
When I first met John, his skin was blue because there was a hole in his heart. Now his health has improved because the doctor said that Tzu Chi has been supporting his medical fees for the past 2 years, and he's better now.
Cindy and her 3 children have experienced Typhoon Haiyan and her husband's abandonment, but she still takes in laundry for others and sells snacks to support her family. Tzu Chi's medical help allowed her child to become healthy.
To poor families like ours, kids' medicines are valuable because they are very expensive and we can't afford them. So I'm happy and grateful that Tzu Chi has given us a lot of help.
From March 2017, with the doctor's recommendation, John has stopped taking the medicine. He now takes vitamins, and Tzu Chi also gives this family 20 kilograms of rice every month. Hopefully, the family of 4 will stay well-fed and warm.
Staying in the Philippines, Tzu Chi volunteers are once again promoting vegetarian eating during the 7th lunar month. 2 schools have voiced their agreement in adopting this meatless diet for the month. Let's visit one of the schools, Placido del Mundo Elementary School in Kaohsiung City, as the principal promotes this 21-day campaign at her school.
At lunchtime, Tzu Chi volunteers deliver 43 vegetarian box meals to Placido del Mundo Elementary School in Kaohsiung City.
I want to promote vegetarianism on campus. Recently, I have started to discuss this idea with some teachers. I hope to gradually let the children adopt a vegetarian diet so that they can eat more vegetables and become healthier.
To join Tzu Chi Philippine chapter's campaign of going meatless for 21 days during the 7th lunar month, the teacher's lunch has been changed into vegetarian.
Teachers of the school tried out vegetarian meals for the first time. When we delivered the meals to the school yesterday, we found many teachers also ordered the meals for their students.
After participating in this vegetarian campaign, I started to get to know Tzu Chi and its recycling ideals. Since I am a science teacher, I know the importance of recycling. I have encouraged my students to make their coin banks with recyclable materials.
With last year's experience, the orders of this year's vegetarian box meals have increased. To prepare for 1,000 servings of box meals, the volunteers have to start working in the early morning.
Vegetables are good for our health because it is nutritious. We won't fall ill easily if we eat more vegetables.
I like it very much because vegetables contain more vitamins than meat does. We need vitamins to stay healthier.
Teachers and students of this school respond passionately for the meatless meals. The results have led Tzu Chi volunteers to feel more confident in continuing to promote this vegetarian campaign.
Also celebrating the auspicious 7th lunar month, but in Taiwan, Tzu Chi volunteers in Kaohsiung held a blessing ceremony at the local Jingsi Hall, and volunteers across the island also participated in different activities to promote vegetarianism.
Different from the Pudu festival during the 7th lunar month in the past, the blessing ceremony at the Kaohsiung Jingsi Hall is like a small concert. In addition to the singing performances on the stage, there's also something special among the audience. More than 2,000 residents learned Dharma teachings together by listening to the songs whose lyrics are written by Master Zheng Yan.
Seeing people use meat offerings at the Pudu festival, I can't spare it.
Meanwhile, at the Beto precinct, Tzu Chi volunteers not only promote vegetarianism, but they also express gratitude to the policemen's hard work during the 2017 Summer Universiade in Taipei.
We are very thankful for the police. Because of their existence, the society can be harmonious and everyone can live in peace.
The video shows that disasters occur frequently all over the world, which though makes people heartbroken, it also arouses their awareness of environmental protection. 20-some volunteers have prepared over 200 servings of vegetarian lunch for the police officers.
There are many benefits of adopting a vegetarian diet. First, we don't kill. We can see in the videos that the animals are hung upside down before they are slaughtered. It is cruel to animals.
Normally, people think that embracing vegetarianism is simply not to kill animals. Some people may not have this belief, so they don't think it is important to go vegetarian. Actually, adopting a meatless diet not only keeps us healthy, it can also protect the earth.
Musician Johnny Yin performs Tzu Chi songs as a volunteer to inspire the police with his gentle voice. Here in Tainan, a group of local residents exercise by walking on the streets. They're also gathering electronic signatures for a petition.
First, walking is good to our health. Second, we can promote vegetarianism while walking. By doing so, we can keep our body healthy.
To support the benefits of a meatless diet, a woman from China says that she wants to take this ideal and help promote it in her own hometown.
I can take these ideals back to Dongguan to invite more people in my communities to join.
Through these activities, it is expected that more and more people in Taiwan will understand the true meaning of vegetarianism.
To provide a better environment for hospital patrons between the Taipei Tzu Chi Hospital and the neighboring Jingsi Hall, a bridge was built. After 28 days of hard work, it was finally completed. We will leave you with images of completion celebration at the end of the program. Thank you for joining us today. We'll see you next time.